Can you hear Oven Boy trying to be Greek back there? I don't know about that. All right, welcome back, peoples. I'm not sure if we actually showed this thing back on its wheels, but anyway, there it is. So you can see that repair that we did on the Beetle, and everything's lining up beautiful. We've still obviously got to put the guard back on it. This thing, the long-term plan for this one is it's going to be left in this original colour, and we're basically just going to cut and polish it and get it together, and then Kira's going to drive it. So this one will be featured in some more videos down the track. Obviously for now we're still moving on to the Ute, the single cab, and as you can see it's up on the hoist. You're doing butter hook. What we're going to do today is do this one, and if anyone has not put one of these rear rubber seals in the engine bay in, it is not fun because they don't go in with a lot of ease, but we have made the job a little bit easier by putting some silicone spray and unicorn tears, because apparently they're quite slippery, and yeah, we'll see if we can get this rubber in its posi. So what else has been done? Oh yes, we did this as well. So that's our blaze cut fire suppression system, and we've used a couple of little hose clamps to clamp that into its spot so that it's not vibrating and chafing and doing all those silly things. We also have put on some shocks. We've got some rear shocks there, they're done. We still have to make some brackets for the what is it? The handbrake cable, the e-brake, whatever they call them in different countries. That's got to be done. Yeah, that's got to be done. Oh, there's another issue. We haven't actually put the back brake lines on yet. That's a bit silly. Yeah, okay, they've got to go on as well. So we've got to do that. Yeah, I think has that one been put on? No, that's not on either. There you go. So they're going to work well. Yeah, okay. And what was the, oh yes, there is one other little issue we have discovered under here is our gearbox is not lined up. You can see there, they are not lined up like they're supposed to be. So we have to do some modifications to the rear gearbox mount. This one here, we're going to have to make those holes a little bit bigger, because the gearbox has to drop down about 2.5 mil, something like that. So that's another little job we've got to get done. We also need to run the vacuum line through. We've made a couple of nice little bungs here through little sleeves to make it look nice and neat and tidy. So we've got to go and add that in, and yeah, we'll keep going. Let's keep moving. Righto, as you can see here, we have the rubber lip installed, and it's definitely a of a job if you try to slide it all the way in. And the issue here is you've got two aftermarket companies dealing with each other, and they don't talk to each other, so the clearances aren't correct. And of course, that's right, nothing fits. But anyway, I put it in a different method. I actually popped the top in first, and then used a screwdriver just to pry the bottom in all the way around. It was actually a lot easier than trying to slide it all the way across. Tried silicone spray, none of it worked. Anyway, so that's that done. We're going to move on to the front. I think Paul's putting in the front shockers because we've got to get them done, and they'll be just put in the usual Beetle shockers. I think they are. Yep. Normal Beetle shockers. Not sure about that colour, but anyway, whatever. Come on, man. And then we're going to do a little bit of brake routering here. This line here, we're going to change this one and stick it out the side here instead because it looks ugly. We don't like it.
Not safe.
Oh, it is safe. No, you can't, because look here. Look at this. This is lower by a mile. So whatever hits is going to take your steering out first, and then your brakes. So then you're going to really go downhill quick.
Absolutely. It's all over before it begins.
All right, let's keep going. So one of the next jobs we have to do is work out how to attach the handbrake cable to the rear disc, and as you can see, I'll try and keep this steady here. This little part here has to hook into that little barb there, but of course we need a spacer to run over the top of the spring, otherwise the whole thing is going to be floppy. So what we've done is we've got some pipe, and we have made a couple of little copper spacers, and they're going to actually go into these little pipes here, and then that'll slip over the top of that, and it'll get located up into the back. There's a hole on the back of the caliper here, and that'll just basically keep that spring and the cable off the disc brake so that it's got clearance. So we'll just get this installed, and then I can actually show you exactly how it'll go. So we've just put a little bit of a bend in the pipe, and that should locate in the hole on the back of this guy, which is, you can see the hole just up there, and that's where it goes through in. So as you can see, everybody, aren't you supposed to be doing some quality control work? What is going on around here? Oh, now you're getting up and quick, go and boss a few people around over there. That guy there needs a lot of quality control.
Wrong. Oh, damn!
Sorry about that, Scoob. As you were. No, she's gone now. Oh, I'm in trouble, everybody. Scooby, the quality control expert's coming in to see what are you guys doing. Sorry about that, mate. There is another beetle in the house.
Where?
There's a yellow one. We have not covered this, but this will be done in a later episode. We will talk about that later. But what we are doing today is this. The gates. We're back on these side gates. We are taping them up.
Don't tell everybody.
All these areas here that are rusty, we're going to put some black panel bond on the other side of it and clamp it all up. So we're just, wherever there's a hole, we don't want it to ooze out onto this side. Otherwise there'll be trouble. There'll be trouble, right, Scooby? So we'll show you what we're going to do. This is the method to our madness. You can see on this one over here what we're talking about. See, we've got all these holes here, and obviously we don't want the panel bond to come oozing out, so we'll just cover them up. Same with that there, and then once it's dry, wherever there's black panel bond, we're going to come back over it and just do our little airbrushy thing to make it look rusty. So that's the plan, and we're going to stick with that. Okay, so the plan is, we've just put a bit of tape here to stop any of the this elastic going on this side, but the idea is we're just going to come in here and ram some glue inside there, and then we're going to try to replicate that radius and just smooth it out. We'll make a little profiling stick or something just to smooth it out, but the idea is just to try and match that, you know, what would have been there before, that little radius. But yeah, we're just going to run the panel bond basically along that. That'll just give it some extra strength. Obviously I've welded up all the rust holes as best I can along there, but that's just all going to add to it once we fix you know, fix it all up at the end and put our rusty patina on there as well. But anyway, let's get to it. We'll get the this is what we're using if people are interested. It's a Sikaflex 252 high strength structural adhesive. It's just a polyurethane stuff, but you know, you can get that from the local hardware store. And yeah, we'll keep moving. Okay, so this is the aftermath, and it always is an aftermath.
Oh, come on.
You just see there, we'll just run that elastic along the side there.
Elastic?
And then
Structural elastic.
I'm not sure what you're doing here, but anyway.
I'm having fun. Let me go.
He's playing with tape.
Okay, I'm done.
All right, we'll move on to the next one, but that one's done, and we'll just run a little bead along the side there too.
Almost done. Hey, Skeevy.
Done. What do you think, quality control expert? Are we doing a good job? No. Is that the way to do it or not?
No, she's upset with your quality control.
So one more job we've just done here is added the vacuum line, and we've just plumbed it through the side there, goes up over the top of the beam into our little collars that we've made here, and then it runs along the chassis rail in through one of the collars at the back there. Now the other two holes are for the oil cooler, for the lines to go, and then obviously these tabs here are to mount the cooler on that, which we'll do that later on. And then basically the line just runs into the engine bay, which we'll have to plumb in at a later stage, but at least it is all done, so we've got that finito. So one of the next jobs we're doing is putting the dynamat on the doors. It's actually not dynamat, it's just a cheap kind of, copy, whatever, same sort of butyl coated foil. Anyway, we've done that on the doors. We're just doing inside on the front, and we've also done the roof. And it just takes a bit of the drum out of it. We're also going to do this section here, as you can hear, pretty loud and obnoxious. And yeah, it just takes out the drumming. You can see I've done the door here, and you can hear the difference. It's a lot quieter. So we'll just finish off that front little section down there at the feet, and we'll also do a little bit of on top of here as well, just for the road noise coming off the tyres. And that will be that part done. Then we can continue. Now we also got all the door cards and roof panels and front kick panels done as well. We're going to get those covered in the material in a minute. And one other little part down here is my my little gauge pod, which I've made out of my mould, and we've got to paint that up. That's obviously going to live up just like so, like that. That's going to live there for our gauges. And what we've decided to do for gauges up the top there, we're going to put oil pressure, oil temperature, and a fuel gauge, because this is a 1960 single cab. It doesn't have a fuel gauge, so we figured that'd be a good thing just to have a fuel gauge up there. We can run a sender in the tank and keep us from running out. So one more thing to do. All right, we'll continue now with the covering of the door cards. So next we're going to start cutting out the door cards and the kick panels and the roof panels. And we're using our 3mm MDF that we normally use. And we're just going to basically use a pencil to trace out the original cards on this sheet. And then we can cut them out with a jigsaw and get them covered in the upholstery, in the grey vinyl. So let's get on to it. Okay, so we've just laid out the vinyl, and obviously we've got our patterns ready to cut out, and then we can start spraying on the glue and getting these things covered. So you can see that's the colour, and it's got that sort of VW kind of texture to it, which is pretty cool, similar to what I've got on my single cab. Anyway, we've just laid out those three, trying to utilise as much space as we can and have less wastage, which is good. All right, let's get these things chopped out, and we'll get gluing. Well, there you go. That's one straight off the hot off the press, as they say. And it actually does look a lot darker on camera than it actually is. It's just the light's getting a bit low now. But anyway, yeah, that's one finito ready to be put into the single cab. And obviously we've got to continue on the rest of them. So let's keep going. Now, here we go. All the door cards are completed, and the roof cards and the kick panels and all that beautiful stuff. They definitely look darker in the video, but in real life they're even darker again. No, that's not true. It's not true. So we've got to go and get the screws and the little stainless or chromy cup things that the screws go onto, but that'll be featured in another video. But for now, these are complete, so happy days and lots of joy. There you go, look at this, boys and girls. So we're putting a little bit of sound deadener on the back parcel shelf just to stop the drumming noises, because we don't like too many drummers around here.
What?
No, that's right. Yeah, so just using whatever.
I love drummers.
Yeah.
When they're not drumming.
That's right, when they're not drumming. You can see just using the
whatever. Nothing against drummers, I like drummers. You're a drummer, aren't you?
Shut up, we don't talk about that around here. Yeah, so what we're going to do there is put a cover on that, so obviously you won't see silverness, because, you know, we're not aliens with silver foil hats on here. And we've got these guys here, which are the last two covers that we've got to finish off. And all the door cards are done, the rest of them are done. There's a couple of bits up there. And on better news, this is going to be one of the last videos that we film with my crappy iPhone, because I've actually invested in a GoPro 9 and some better audio microphones. So
I can look better on 4K.
yeah, we can. No. What did you say earlier? So we can stuff up on 4K, right? Yeah, that'd be more like it. Yeah, so there won't be any more shaky videos. We're kind of coming into 2021, right?
Finally.
Yeah, so hopefully that arrives soon and we'll have some better quality footage for you guys and girls at home. See, it's because of this one here. This is the one that said, your videoing sucks and you need to upgrade. Is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I figured that.
Where's the food, Scoob?
All right, let's keep moving on this job. So one of the next jobs that we have to do is the rear brake light and turn signal indicator. And what we're doing is we're not going to run the original globes inside them. We're going to run some high intensity LEDs. Now, if anyone has seen some of my other videos, they will know that I swear by these. Custom Dynamics in the States, phantasmagorical. So we're going to put these guys in and I'll show you how we get it done. So what these LEDs do, they're a high intensity and they're a sealed up unit on the back, and they have the brake light, the turn signal and the parker. So they are just insane. Like, they're so much brighter and better quality than anything else I've seen on the market, and I've used them in a couple of buses already. That's the part number for anyone wanting them. They are the Gen-18-8. They have a lot on their website. You just got to make sure you do get the right one. but that's the part number there, and they are absolutely fantastic. Again, you can see here that they are the perfect radius to go. Look at that. They're absolutely spot on. And all you do is you just use the hot glue gun and just glue these straight inside the casing. Obviously take the globe out. They just go straight back to the back and just hot glue them in. It's that simple. And then wire up your wires, and they are so bright. They're amazing. So anyway, we're going to do that now, get these done. And then, yeah, obviously for the American market, you know, we have the dual lights here in Australia. That's just our requirements for them to be on the road. So hence why a lot of these single cabs you see over here have twin lights on the back. So we'll get these guys all cleaned up and glued into position. We're just going to use a normal hot glue gun and go from there. So let's get it done. Okay, so here we go. We've got the lights mounted, and we've got a couple of little spaces that Oven Boy has made. Have a look here. There's a little spacer there and a little spacer there. And what they're for is to stop when you put the glass on, you don't go and crack the glass, because if you just go and reef on these and yank them in, it's going to put pressure on this and they will break, and we don't want that happening. So those little spacers will stop it going too far. So let me get those mounted and we'll see what they look like. Have a look, guys. Here we go. Twin lights, Australian edition only. You can see, stop trying to be shaky here. There we go. So that's those ones already. We need to wire those up, obviously. And that's one more job ticked off. And we will continue. Okay, so we've got the door cards or kick panels in position just in there. So they've come up nice. And we've also made up this little back bulkhead cover. That's all finished as well. Put some sound deadener behind it. And we're just filling up these little voids in here with sound deadener. We'll get all that done. And yeah, we've still got to do some wiring up in the box up there and for the gauges. We'll have to run them down the center section. Get that done as well. Anyway, I think that's about it for today's work effort, and we will continue on this very, very soon. So remember, like, share and subscribe, and we will catch you in the next video, guys. Yep.